What's going on, y'all? It is I, J.H. Gibbons here.
And I'm Will C.
And welcome to yet another episode of the Acromis Podcast, episode 29, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, we made it again.
2-9.
Wow, 2-9.
Wow.
Almost 30 straight weeks into this bad boy.
Whew.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. And look, we thank you all for joining us once again. If you are new here, you hit that subscribe button on YouTube, you hit that like button as well, and you hit that notification bell to let you know the next time that the Acromis Podcast is on YouTube. The newest episode, the latest episode, you'll get to see, and you will not miss those gems.
Yes. And also, guys, another gem to that is free to subscribe. Come on now. You know by now. And if you don't know, I'm going to keep saying that. Jay's going to always have a hard time, embracing that part. But don't worry, we're going to remind him, just like we're going to remind everyone else out there throughout the community. Let's spread that word, guys. Let's get people to get up. Like, we got to get that up, guys. Like, we need the subscription up. We need to make sure that we're reaching more people to get the content, to get these gems. Subscribe. We're hearing it. We're actually hearing it from the community. Where folks are telling us, like, hey, this is great. This is the material, and everything that we've given is life-changing, and it's hidden, and it's hidden strides. So we got to get that out there to more people, but we need your help. So in order to do that, guys, let's spread the word. Let's share it. Send it via text. Send it on IG. Send it on Facebook. If you can on TikTok, send it there too. Wherever you can, please spread that word. Help us out, guys.
Anywhere and everywhere. Look, the price just went up, as Fat Joe said. I don't know if y'all saw that versus. Boy.
Hold on.
Dipset had to dip after that one. That was
yeah. Take a moment of silence for Dipset. Love those guys.
Oh, they're amazing, man. It's part of our childhood. It's part of us growing up. Nothing better than that Dipset anthem. But
the locks though. Hey,
woo! Shout out to Jada.
My
Lord,
you are that guy. And shame to those who didn't know before.
Yeah.
But growing up and listening to you, my brother, big ups, man. You were MVP. You were GOAT status that night. That was MJ dropping all types of greatness that night. You tapped into something special, sir. And we know that you know that. We know that everyone got to hear it, knows that. But golly, if you didn't and you are a fan of hip hop, that was a beautiful moment to see what an MC looks like as opposed to a rapper, guys. So very passionate about that.
Absolutely.
As we love music, and if you follow me, my content person, I'm always got some form of music on there or some sort of artistry in that regard. And man, that was magical.
Beautiful.
So it was a good time. That was a good part of the week.
And look, the best part about it is, there was just no beef on the stage. Like, they were going back and forth. They were competitive as they are, but it was all love at the end of the night. Yes. And where we are in society with hip hop and rap, like, we love to see that. We love to see two powerhouse groups from New York come together and share in their ability to make some of the best music we've heard in the past.
Yes, big moment for the culture. Big moment for the group of our people.
Absolutely,
it was a big moment. It was just a big moment in history, and it was beautiful to see it go down that way, like you said, Jay. And one I'm never gonna forget. I've watched that thing probably like 5 or 6 times because it was just how. It was so refreshing.
It was really good. And look, if you haven't seen it, go follow Versus. I believe the video is still up there now. Check it out, man. If you want, I'm talking about some real deal hip hop. Just old school, just no punches pulled. Some of this stuff was just off break. It wasn't no beats. It was just going. It was flowing. It was fun. The energy was lit. It was really fun.
Yeah,
it was really fun to see. And it's really great for the community. It's great for hip hop in general. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I really did.
Yeah, so I figured we would take that energy from what we saw and just continue to manifest it into what we do and our artistry, what we deliver. And we're gonna continue to bring out these gems, these bangers to you every week. And we're gonna get right into this one as well, guys.
Yeah. Look, I'm a passionate guy. You're a passionate guy. We're both passionate people, right?
Yes.
We love what we do. We love this. We love the Acromis podcast. We love Acromis Fitness. We love anything that has to do with helping build a community and allowing us to grow with them as well. And look, I love being here. I love doing this. Love doing this with you, bro. This has always been a pleasure, and it always will be as we continue to grow. And the one thing I gotta say is that I don't think there's anything else in this world that I would do in this capacity than this. And when I mean this capacity, look, of course, right now we're still growing, so the checks aren't flowing through here yet, right?
Yeah.
That's not where it's happening. We have our day jobs, we have other things that we do to be able to feed our families and our loved ones and keep a roof over our head. But this is something that I would do regardless of how much we end up getting from it, because it's something that we're passionate about. It's something that we love. It's something that we enjoy doing. I mean, how do you feel about being here and speaking to a community, sharing our voice and our experience and our wisdom with an entire set of people that some we've never even met in person?
I feel like it is something that we were destined to do.
That's deep.
It's just one of those moments in life where you find one of your callings, where personally, being one who had looked for those sort of things and not knowing where to grasp where I am will at all times. This allows me to showcase it. This has been therapeutic for me personally, for you as well, Jay, as I
Absolutely.
know, and
Absolutely.
we've legitimately grown with the community. And it's just being able to embrace this part of your lifestyle, because this is exactly who we are, what we do regularly, as we were talking about a little earlier. Guys, for those that know us personally, how in depth we are as two young men, and we can definitely engage an audience individually, together, right? We are we're the twins in that regard. But like, we've been doing this for years, before podcasts and like really being out there with this. We've been knee deep into this sort of kind of like thought process for the decade. So it's like we've been doing this. This is just a newer platform of delivering it, instead of us holding on to these gems ourselves. And the way I see it is, it happened of us manifested it into a reality at the right time. Because be in the right state of being, right state of health, and just being ready for what comes with this, the grind that comes with it, because this is really a grind.
It is.
Which is, it has to be something that you love. It has to be something that's a part of who you are, and this is truly who we are. So that's the beautiful part, why it comes effortlessly while we are 29 weeks into this, of delivering content of different kind. Because mind you guys, I know you guys see it, we have several different contents, and we're continuing to build off that, of how we reach out to you, and things that we are working on behind the scenes to try to enhance that experience, and to bring you something different than what you're accustomed to seeing, that you are more so a part of.
That part.
So that's what we're doing. And when we get the feedback from everyone that's out there at different times, for different ways, like, it's motivating, is continuing to light the fuel and give the oil for the passion that we have. Even if it was just one person, like, we're making a difference. Reality of it is what we're doing is to promote change of growth and healthy habits. So this is our lifestyle, is how we approach life. And we seek to reach those who seek change for them. This is about the person. So for me, like, this is everything. Like, it's everything that I've been building my life towards, that when I came into my truth, this was the right time. So like, it's like second nature.
That is
second nature. It's like getting up and just going through my daily routine with life. And this is why when we do this, or we engage an audience and anyone that we talk to, you don't sense any sort of albeit work-wise and like experiences with being able to speak in front of people. Look, Jay's done it. I've done it. I've spoken. I've trained hundreds of people, room conferences and things of this nature, where I'm in an environment where you got to break those nerves. And even in one of my previous career fields, where I'm engaging in business with people, and you break those things, and it's just through personal experience. But to be able to be captivating in front of an audience, regardless of wherever you are, you've got to love yourself enough. You got to love what you're doing, and believe and be passionate into what you're delivering. And that's us.
Absolutely. And I think putting that out there, especially your past experiences, is important. As he said, I mean, we've been doing stuff like this over a decade. We've been having these type of conversations. We've been thinking these types of ways. We've been talking to our friends and family about this same stuff. But now is the best time to come out and spread that out into a community that we could see ourselves needs that. right? You're right. It's a different approach. It's a different type of fuel that you're receiving that you probably haven't seen before, because it requires you to do work too, right? As we're continuing to grow, as we're working, it also requires you to work. So that portion of it allows you to build with us. And then, 10, 15, 20 weeks down the road, you look back and you're like, wow, I've come so far from where I used to be. And that is the beauty of Acromas. That is the beauty of what we want to bring to the table, what we want to put out there, is that regardless where you start, that destination that you get to will be worth it once you get there. There are going to be so many trials and tribulations that you go through. There'll be so many times you think of hanging it up, you think of quitting, you think of, oh, this ain't right for me. I'm not getting the amount of traction I'm looking for. I feel like I'm lost in life. I don't know what's going on. Like, this is the right place to come to help you out there. So we may not have the answers to everything, right? Because there's so many questions that the world has to offer, but we will give you those tools for you to be able to walk that path without being afraid, without being worried that the habits that you built before are not going to get you to that point. This is where you need to be to hear that.
Agreed. And it's something that you touched on about, like, maybe why folks aren't as consistent with like what they're pursuing. And a lot of the times it falls in line, not necessarily just pure passion, but identifying your purpose through it. Because if you don't have substance to hold on to, there will be times where your morale is low.
Yeah.
Even if you have the passion, where, for example, we were talking about this too. This has been a rough week. Yeah. And not just for me or for Jay. There's so many other people we know personally that said the same. I don't know what happened this week, bro. We know it was not a great week on stage for Dipset as well.
Oh, God.
Sorry, guys. I just had to mention it.
Another moment.
I'm sorry, but we love you guys, and you guys
call us soon.
It's me no harm, man. Like, we grew up on y'all, man. But it just hasn't been a great week for a lot of different reasons. In that regard, where it's just like, it's been tough, man. It's been really tough.
It's been really hard.
And if you can't hold on to your purpose to get you through those moments, it just makes it harder. So now we're talking about your passion. What you love to do. Think about it. Like, for example, people who play basketball for a living, right? Or football. Like, I mean, you wear and tear on your body. It's hard. So it's like you get to those points where, let's say, you like to say mid-season, right? But you just get to a point where life, where something becomes a bit redundant. You hit that wall, and you're like, dang, like, oh man, you know what? Kind of need a hiatus from this, man, because why am I doing this? And
shout out to Simone Biles, right?
Yes. Applaud, huge advocate of mental health awareness. That's a huge part of our lives. And look, it's a courageous thing to do, to say, hey, you know what? I need a moment, and to know it's okay to not be okay. And that's like, where we are in society, where, you're starting to see a lot more of that. And I love that, because, it's good to see it on a global scale, as we've mentioned before in previous podcasts. And, for your everyday person as well, where, like we're saying, like, it's tough. You have these moments where life gets tough. So all that, culminates, and you really look at, like, again, your purpose as to what's keeping you going forward and what you're doing. So if you have something that you want to do, pursue, like starting up a business or anything of that nature, and you hit that the dry spell of it not being as successful as you imagined initially, because a lot of times we preset ourselves to the future rather than take the stepping stones of where we need to get there, and know that a lot of the people that you see that has made it in their choice of a profession, or like, business venture, there was definitely grind, there was tedious work, there were long nights, there were sacrifices, there were these moments that you did things even when you love to do, you didn't feel like doing in those moments. And for example, where it's like, what we do, right? And maybe, our viewership content on YouTube isn't as high, right? We only have like maybe 30 subscribers now, and it's like, look, if we get a subscriber a week, that's okay, because it's like, shout out to everyone who has subscribed and are supporting us and believe in the content, and even shout out to those of you out there who are inquiring about the merchandise that we have in our Chroma store, and even purchasing it. And we love you guys. We thank you so much for believing in what we're doing, and to help again add that fuel to the passion of what we're trying to do, because we want to bring change generationally speaking. We want to break cycles and break barriers, and that's what this is about. So when we're hitting like maybe one person that we're reaching each week, like that's okay. That's okay, because what we're doing, guys, is we're building a vault of gems. So if someone don't get this right now, maybe 2-3 years from now, they may stumble across this and they're like, yo, what's this? Let me go see what else is out there. And guess what? We have another person that's involved themselves into the process of change and growth and building healthy habits that hopefully is going to make a difference generationally speaking. This is for me. This is how I see it. Right. I know this is how you see it, how we feel about it. And this is why we're so passionate about it, even when we have the weeks that are tough like this one. Where it took, let me tell you something, guys. It took a lot to get to this point to even get this recording going this week, to be totally honest with you. And we made it happen. And it's because we believe in what we do, and we genuinely have love, sincerity, and wish prosperity and joy and all of these things to you guys. And we will do what needs to be done to make sure that the message is heard and not forgotten. So that is the difference of when you know what your purposes are, and it helps to fuel your passion even when your morale isn't at its best. Because just think of it this way: when you do peak it and it is rising, oh gosh, you're gonna be on fire. That soul glow is gonna be something else. It's gonna be popping.
It is. But I think to that point too, once you figure out your purpose and you understand what your passion is, I think in terms of profit, I think one thing that a lot of us has to look at is, what does the market need, right? What does your everyday customer need, your community, right? The people that we're serving, what are they looking for? What will they actually deem important to them, right? And I think in terms of YouTube and seeing our views, one thing that we can see is that the ones that are really based on emotions tend to get a lot more hits than the others. And I think that's because a lot of people right now are trying to understand themselves in an emotional state. I think before we haven't, at least out there hasn't been that type of discussion, those deep discussions that we end up having on this podcast, where a lot of people are sitting there and saying, oh yeah, maybe I should start looking at my life this way. Maybe I should take a little bit more time to figure out the joy that I'm looking for in my life personally, and not trying to find that in somebody else or something else. I think once people start looking at, you start looking at your metrics, you start looking at the analytics, and you see exactly where people would love to hear more, or what people would love to hear more about, I think that's when you could start tailoring it to your audience. But I think it is really important, especially if you're talking about profit, you're talking about growing and building, you have to put out things out there to your community that they're going to respond to, that they're going to feel like, okay, I want to hear more of that specific thing. I don't want to hear about cars and trucks. I do want to hear about how I can build myself, right? So then we start tailoring our content more to what they're looking for, so that then they could say, okay, I know there's some people in my life that may need to hear this. Let me share this in a message on IG. Let me share this with my family. Like, hey, you guys need to check these people out. I've been on YouTube so many times. I've seen so many motivational videos, but theirs is different. It hits different. There's like a hint of honesty, a ton of motivation, and there's some sort of gem that they hit in every single episode that allows me to take that specific gem and use it and apply it in my life today. And that is such a main difference for them. So honestly, I would say that, especially if you're looking at profit, look at what the market is asking for, and thank goodness for social media and all the analytics that you can read and really digest and understand what people are truly asking for, what they're looking at more, or what they want to learn about more. That way you can kind of go down that path, and it'll make it better for them and for you as well.
Agreed. I think that's really well said. And just another thing to add to that part, just again, guys, that purpose. If everything you heard Jay said is consistent to the purpose, right? Because you're still being your true self. So you're not adjusting it just for the sake of like how to generate the profit of it, because that's going to come naturally if it's really a part of your purpose, right? So it's like, if we hold on to it, you listen to what's being put out there because people resonate with that part of you, right? Because it's really an extension of yourself. So it's like you reel that in, it will come naturally, where with time, as we said, through the work being put in, people will want to support that part of you. They will want to see you succeed, because in truth, you're giving something valuable back in to them. you're giving growth. And I mean, frankly speaking, with what we do, that's what we're delivering. We're delivering growth if you choose it. You know, there isn't any reason why you would want growth.
I would say that last part, if you choose it.
If you choose
I
it.
think that's a big thing.
Mhm.
I know, at least when I was going through my growth, there'd be motivational videos that I'd always see online, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, that's nice. Okay, I heard that. Oh, yeah, that's a good jump. That's pretty good. But for whatever reason, I wasn't choosing to go down that route, right? It was just, for me, it was just like what I'd like to call an ear massage, right? It was an
Mm.
auditory massage instead of a message. I didn't take it as a message. I just allowed it to let my brain get a nice massage of some good gems, and then immediately after it's out the door, right?
Yeah.
I'm going back to my old habits. I'm going back to the old way I'm living my life,
Yeah.
and I'm not seeing the results, even though I am digesting all this content every single day. I'm not actually putting in the action that I need to in order to see those results that those people are saying they see.
Mhm.
So I really like that you harked on that. Like, if you choose it, because it is a choice, it is a matter of choice, and it
Mhm.
is a decision that you must make, and you're literally making that decision every day.
Yeah, I mean, everything we do, we make a conscious decision on, right?
Mm,
And something that I've always said, where everyone has a choice.
mm,
You have a choice of wherever you go, what you do. It's just for you to have the emotional ability to remain accountable in your decisions
mhm.
and grow through what you decide. Grow through what you go through, because
Absolutely.
in most cases, everything that you've done at some point, it may be an extension of others' decision that kind of help lead you in the direction you're headed, the
Sure.
trajectory of it. But overall, you make the final decision in what you do in your life.
Mm,
So again, what we provide out there to you is a choice of, like, self-reflection.
yeah.
Everything we've given is a self-reflection sort of approach to it, and we can only do this because we've gotten to a place to be in our truth. Now, mind you, guys, that's not to say we're not saying we're perfect at all, like,
No,
by
no,
no means, because, like,
no.
most imperfect person you could ever know,
Yeah.
but we choose to try to be our best selves for
Hmm.
us,
Hmm.
because if we are our best selves, everyone else around us will benefit from that.
Absolutely.
You can't begin to give out love if you don't love yourself
Mm,
enough. And that is a key thing that I've learned. And like, I love this quote that Maya Angelou said. Um, and correct me if I don't get it right, but once you begun to do the healing, you go out and you heal someone else.
mm,
And that I remember when I was going through not being my best self, and
mm,
then I was realizing, I identified to myself, Will, what is your purpose? What do you seek?
mhm,
Um, and the inner me spoke, I seek joy.
mm,
I want to know what joy feels like, because I know what everything else that's not that feels
right.
like to be, and to live with it. I've lived with that most of my life, and
Mm,
I want to have a sincere smile. I want to smile from my heart. I want to experience true passions of, like, what my aspirations are that I put on hold in my life, because I didn't
mhm,
think I was worth it enough for them. I didn't
mm,
think, because no one else believed in me. And I
mm,
didn't believe in myself. It wouldn't have mattered. So it's like, once I've realized what that was and what I seeked, and I fought to get to a place where I attained it, I didn't know what it would look like or would feel like,
right.
until I felt it and I knew, and I said, oh, this is that moment.
Mm,
This is what this is. And once I recognized it, and I said, okay, I want to hold on to that. How
mhm,
do I sustain it? Right? What do I
mhm,
do? And then I started building my affirmations, and I started building things around that
mhm,
to, get me in a place where I can hold true to it, to myself,
mhm.
and live in that. And is that an everyday thing? You try. And like you said, this week has been a rough week, but you try.
Sure.
And that all falls in line, like, again, with your passion and your purpose. Because if you have anything out there that you are investing yourself into, where you're
Mhm,
looking to generate gain and profit from, you have to stay true into those things, into those
mhm.
areas I mentioned. You have to stay true into them, because it's about the sustainability. And,
That's a good point.
to build yourself through the choices you're making, to get to that point with the stepping stones, where it will come back to you tenfold,
Mm,
right? You could teach, what's the saying about the story? You could teach a man how to fish, for fish, and he'll be able to feed himself for the rest of his days.
right, right.
Or you can catch a fish and you can give him a meal for that day,
Mhm,
right? So what would you rather invest into yourself for, right? So if you know your purpose and you educate and you learn that through growth and through your interactions and, encounters of experiences, be willing to grow, you're going to be okay long term. And if you're investing into these type of things, you're studying the market and you're getting a better idea and understanding of what works, what don't, what's relatable, you are you to your core, and you're looking to captivate an audience depending on your business preference you're into, then if you're you, people will come to you. How do you think a lot of these small businesses are sustained for 20, 30 years?
Yeah.
I mean, that has been around.
Yeah.
Sometimes there are places you can go where, real talk, the food might be better. I don't want to say the service, because the service obviously is like a part of why you're there for that, for that group of people, but quality might be, if like you want something grand and upscale as opposed to the mom and pop shops.
Yeah.
But there are places like that I go to and support, because I'm like, you know what? You have that passion, that grind. And when I come here, you greet me, you know me by name. Like, you make the effort that these other places, these titans won't do.
And it's a lot of people love that. They love to know that, hey, I can come to you and tell you anything. We can share our own things, especially when it comes to, knowing somebody by first name in those small mom and pop shops. I mean, there's some restaurants in DC that are hidden that a lot of people's never been to, and it's been standing for years and years. And their food is just A1 because they just stay true to their recipe, and it can't be replicated or duplicated. So I think it is very important when it comes to that, and sticking true to who you are. Keep grinding, keep marketing, keep building yourself up, building your brand up, and people will come. That's just, I think word of mouth is huge, not just through, not just what we're putting out through social media, but literally going and talking to people about ourselves. People will follow you if they love what you're about. You know what I'm saying? And this is all part of the brand. So our friends, people who are close to us, our family, them knowing who we are and us putting that out there, it's all the same. So I think as you continue to build a brand, and the brand is an extension of your true beliefs, you can't go wrong eventually, right? These things don't happen overnight. And that's one thing that I think a lot of people have to look at, especially if you're getting into business for themselves or what have you. It's that you must stay patient. You must be patient. You got to stay the course, and you have to understand that eventually it will happen. But at the same time, you must continue to grow, right? You start off with your base, right? You get that set, but once that base is set, you continue to build. You get to the framing, you get to the roofing, you get to build that structure to the exact specifications that you're looking for, and are also an extension of yourself. So that, as you continue to build, you can withstand those heavy winds or those heavy rains or earthquakes or anything that will come your way. So I think it's very important that you stay the course, you stay patient, you keep building. Look, we're on episode 29, man. And we're not stopping. As we said after episode 1, and we're still here, and we're still growing, we're still building. So I think it's very important that they hear that they must stay patient. It's going to take time, but once you're in it with your passion and you understand your purpose, there's no doubt in my mind that you will eventually profit from it.
Very, very well put, Jay. I think that's what it comes down to. Like a lot of those key pointers of what we've discussed, with this episode. I think it really is just, it is very simplistic. If you don't overthink it and you just really focus on those things, identifying, again, your skill set, which is really based on your affirmations, and just holding true to that, and building upon it, and adjusting where necessary, because as you grow through that process, you should be growing as a person. So it's going to naturally adjust and change with time and with effort, with consistency, and through your patience of understanding and recognizing it. So using your emotional maturity in all these areas is going to help to get you to where you choose to be, because it is a choice every day. So it's like, the profit that you look for, as opposed to the reward of what you feel through that process, is just as equally as important. So love what you do. Love yourself first. Know your purpose. Identify what those things are, so that you can stay the course in making a conscious decision to get you to where your goal is to be at some point in life. And each day that you are blessed to be here is a win along the way. So own that, process that, compartmentalize it to where you needed to go through your journey so that you can be right. So when you do get to the point, let's say you are getting a profit, like we see with these celebrities or people we said who built their wealth for themselves, they are at a place where hopefully they're ready to handle it, because we know what it looks like when you're not. So that's just as equally as important, guys. So we're hoping that you get that part of what we're delivering to you this week so that you can be ready for that level of success.
And I think, speaking of celebrities or athletes, or I mean, gosh, I know there were a couple athletes this year, at least in the NFL, or this past week, that signed some major contracts, man. Some ridiculous, 200 million. Yeah.
265 mil.
I mean, Steph, all there's a lot of them. And what I look at with them is like these athletes are just, they're otherworldly in terms of the skills that you see them perform. I mean, Steph Curry, just the way I've never seen anything like that in my life. Like, sometimes it's comical. So you're just like, what? You can't. I mean, what's going on? Like, it doesn't
he's the
seem
best
real.
known shooter in the world.
When it's all said and done, I think he just might be the greatest. I've never seen anyone. I've never seen anyone shoot like that.
We may get some flack for that comment, but yeah, I don't. To me, one of my all-time favorites is Reggie Miller.
Sure, he was a favorite.
Ray Allen.
Sure, another
Joe Dumars was one that I enjoy. There's endless shooters, that have just been great throughout the years, and never seen anyone that put together such a skill set. And I'm sure that didn't just come overnight, right? It came with consistency and work. I mean, of course, genetics is a part of these things, but him being passionate about what he does and just confident in his ability, knowing his purpose of what he do and how great he is at it. Like, I mean, this guy,
that part too. I mean, the greatness. Like, I mean, people look at that and they're like, well, maybe I could try that. Like, there are hours and days and years that these guys put in that we never get to see. I'm talking about camps, shooting 200 balls a day, whatever it means to be as great as he is at what he does. Like, I think for his success and the success of athletes or anyone who owns a business, number one, I think they're great at what they do, right? I think they are the best at what they do, but they also love what they do. You could see it in their eyes. There's nothing else that they could possibly do on this planet. It's like, man, you were literally born to do this. Like, this is literally what you do. And then that third tier, getting paid for what you do, right? If you're the upper echelon, if you're the top tier of your game, of your business, of whatever you're doing, you're going to get paid, period. Right? It doesn't matter what industry you're in. So I know with this podcast, we're like, okay, does passion? Yeah, it does. It absolutely does. But those other elements tie into it. Like, imagine if you're a painter, right? There are millions upon millions, if not billions, if you will, of artists out there, right? Painters that you've never heard of, we've never gotten to see, because it's a niche that is so heavily saturated. Because of course, there are talented people that we'll never get to see, and there are talented people that we know of that are artists, right? But there's only one Picasso, right? There's only one Da Vinci. Like, these people were so great at what they did, they loved what they did, and eventually now, right, hundreds of years after they're gone, you see how valuable their paintings are.
Exactly.
So you just have to keep that in mind, to stay patient. Keep that perspective, understand your purpose, know that you're passionate about what you do, and eventually it'll pay off for you. Man,
that's it right there. I mean, that's it right there. And that's all across the board.
Yep.
I couldn't put it better myself.
I mean, from small to big, from not known at all to world renowned, all of that. I think that's exactly what it takes, just being great at what you do, loving what you do. Eventually that profit's going to come, right? I think it's just going to come. Man.
Effortlessly,
it's going to come. So look, we've reached the end once again, ladies and gentlemen. If you are new to the podcast, we welcome you. Again, if you're on YouTube, you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and then hit that notification bell over there to allow YouTube to tell you when the newest videos will be coming out. All right. But for those who have been here for a while, and yet you still don't know where to find us or how to find us, or you don't know how to spell our name, number one, shame on you. I know I say this every week, but I mean, come on, man. Y'all got to get with the program. ACHROMOUS, Acromus. We're everywhere. Again, we're on YouTube, Spotify, TikTok now.
Yeah.
Wow, we are really out there.
Hello, TikTok.
YouTube, Facebook. Wow, we are everywhere. So there's no excuse as to why you can't put that name in there and see exactly what you get out. Those gems, those beautiful videos, some really earth-shattering content, motivational. I mean, there's everything. There's a little bit of everything in our videos. And that's why I love doing this. I know you love doing this. We're passionate about it.
Yes.
And this will get us profit.
Yes, it shall. It shall, guys.
Absolutely, man.
Key again, as Jay said, passion. And you know, it comes through and you feel it every single time. And more importantly, we know our purpose.
Yep.
Our purpose is to be here for you.
That's it. That's it. And look, for those out there, now we're talking to our community that we love, that we adore, that we continue to grow with. Tell us what you're passionate about and how it is bringing you profit today. Let us know your story, right? We all have a story. We all start from somewhere. We want to know where you are now in your journey and how that passion is paying off for you. You send that to us in DM, you send it to us in the comments on YouTube, send it to us anywhere. Those five platforms that we just listed, which we're about to list again: YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, and even TikTok. You message us anywhere, we will respond. We will share your story to the community so they can understand exactly what we are about, what you are about, and how we continue to grow.
Hey, and guess what, guys? We're going to do things a little different this week. But before we conclude, see, we're going to engage and we're going to need your help for this part to tell us about what we're going to be speaking up on next week's topic. So we've come up with a few options here, guys, and we really want to get the feedback in once you hear it and get it rolling in. DM us, comment, on this, wherever you see it, on YouTube, on IG, on Facebook. Share it, let us know what you think should be the next topic. So we're going to need a poll. So we have 3 options here. It's going to be sustaining habits through adversity.
That's a good one.
That should be a good one, guys. Our next one that you have an option to vote on this poll: overcoming mental barriers. And then the third option we have available for you guys is the art of self-love.
I mean, you really can't go wrong with any.
No, you can't. I'm excited about all of them. So I know you guys are feeling that. You're like, you're pondering. Which one do we want to hear? We will touch base on all these at some point.
We will.
Now we open the floor to you, to the community. What do you want to hear us speak on next? Let us know, please.
Let us know.
Let us know. So we're gonna be waiting. We're gonna have that poll. We'll have it up, and when it's time, we'll be speaking on what you want to hear.
Absolutely, because it is about you. It is about our community. It is about growth. It is about our passion, your passion, our purpose, your purpose. And we're in this together. We're in this for the long haul. So if you don't want to see us, if you're not used to seeing us, if you're like, man, I got to turn y'all off, there ain't no way. There's no way. We're here.
Yeah, we're
here to stay.
Guys.
It'll be in your ear.
We'll be here when you come back, when you're ready for the change that you need for you.
That's the beauty of it.
It's all right.
It's the beauty of it. When you're ready, you're going to take it all in. You'll be glad you did. Ladies and gentlemen, we want you to enjoy the upcoming week. Enjoy the Sunday. We hope you enjoyed this podcast. Share it with your friends on all of those platforms we listed. And until next weekend, it's your boy, J.H. Gibbons.
And we'll see.
Peace.